Everyone deals with stress. But do you want to know who handles stress the best? Zebras. Imagine being a zebra and out of nowhere, a cheetah comes at you full speed. Your stress responses kick in and adrenaline takes over. Now, one of two things will happen. You're either torn to pieces or you survive. Either way, the stress is gone. Why does it matter and how does it relate to you? Well, Dr. Robert Sapolsky, a professor of neurology at Stanford University, describes stress as anything in the external world that knocks you out of homeostatic balance. Humans have an anticipatory stress response, and this causes us to become stressed with thought, turning on the same fight or flight response as zebras. The problem is, when the stress response is turned on frequently, we get sick. Dr. Sapolsky studies have found that stress kills us slowly, suppressing the immune system, shutting down growth, and eroding memory and the ability to learn. Have you ever been so stressed you felt like you couldn't think straight? Well, maybe you couldn't. As a college student, stress is detrimental to my education and well-being. We don't think of stress as a physically damaging thing, but it really can be. This is why it's important to recognize the positive and negative stressors in your life. It's essential to understand the effects of chronic stress. And finally, I want you to take something out of this speech, and I want to introduce you to a positive way to manage your stress. Therefore, I'm going to tell you why stress management is so important to live a happier, healthier life. The first step to a happier, healthier life is recognizing the difference between positive stress and negative stress. In an article for the World Journal of Medical Sciences, Dr. Richard Lazarus describes eustress as a positive cognitive response to a stressor, which is associated with a positive physical state. He goes on to say that eustress, or positive stress, is constructive results to stressful events and stress responses. Marriage, buying a house, having a baby, getting a job promotion, these can all be examples of positive stress. But what happens when these get too unbearable? While these things feel exciting, they motivate us and improve our performance, but they can be overwhelming. And when this happens, distress sets in. I'll refrain from giving you any examples of bad stressors because I don't want you to think yourself into a stressful state. That brings us to this question. How does negative stress affect our health? Dr. Sapolsky talks about the health risks that chronic stress presents in his book, Why Don't Zebras Get Ulcers? I'm going to share with you common effects of stress that take place in your life, so you'll easily be able to identify them. When stress disrupts your central nervous system, it causes headaches and insomnia. I'm sure we all can remember sleepless nights due to stress. If you have constant aches and pains, it can be due to stress. When our stress response is set off, our muscles tense in. And if you don't have time to relax, neither do your muscles. These seem like manageable symptoms of a stressful day, but the effects of a chronically stressful life are more serious. Under stress, your liver produces more blood sugar to give you a boost of energy, which can be helpful if you're a zebra running from a cheetah. But when you're under constant stress, your body cannot keep up with the glucose it produces, putting you at risk for type 2 diabetes and ulcers. Stress also weakens the immune system, making you more susceptible to diseases. So what do we do when we're stressed? We have to manage it somehow. Some of us may overeat or procrastinate. Maybe you smoke or drink. These are all negative ways to manage stress, and they might work short term, but eventually you're going to have to deal with your stressors. My goal is to promote healthy ways to manage your stress. I'm sure we can all come up with positive ways to manage stress. Exercise, maybe enjoying time with friends. But I want to tell you about one that I find extremely helpful. It's called mindfulness, and it's a meditation technique. Mindfulness means maintaining a moment-by-moment awareness. When we practice mindfulness, our thoughts tune into what we're sensing in the present moment, rather than rehashing the past or imagining the future. It's taking 10 minutes out of your day to realize your senses fully. How does the wind feel on your skin rather than, oh my gosh, I'm outside and I have to write this speech due Friday? Let your worries fade for 10 minutes. And research shows practicing mindfulness, even for a few weeks, can boost your immune system, improve your ability to focus, and help cope with stress, among other things. In a study titled The Benefits of Being Present, Mindfulness and Its Role in Psychological Well-Being, it was found in a clinical intervention study among cancer patients that increases in mindfulness over time relates to declines in mood disturbance and stress. Now, these are cancer patients. If they can learn to manage stress by practicing mindfulness, then I think it's worth a try. That brings us to my challenge for you. I want you to take something valuable away from this speech. I want you to begin to recognize negative stressors in your life and let them go. Practice mindfulness for just 10 minutes a day for a week and see the positive impact it can have. Practice it with your meal, maybe. Really focus on enjoying the time you get to relax instead of, oh man, I have to write this paper, I have to clean the house, I have to do the dishes, I have to do all these things. Just stop. How does the food taste? Like, man, this food tastes really good right now. And that's all you need to focus on. Just 10 minutes. Just take that time. This will help you lead a happier, healthier life. From Dr. Sapolsky, stress is not a state of mind. It's measurable and it's dangerous. And humans can't seem to find their off switch. Well, I encourage you to find your off switch.